What's goody? What's goody?
What's up, Blue Blood?
Same old, same old. Trying
Blue
to be like
dropping
you,
that
great
type of
fellas.
We're talking
Trying
about
to be like you. Trying to be like you, great
Nah,
fellas. You know what I'm
nah.
talking about
Hey,
heavy
Blue,
reach.
I'm gonna be just like you when I grow up.
saying? Nah, you don't want to be like me, man. You know what I'm saying? You see, they mad at me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What
What's
they
his
mad at you
smoke?
for?
I saw you met up with Smoke at the Shakur fight. I was there too.
Yeah. Smoke.
Were you at the
You can't make
Wilder fight?
everybody happy. Bro.
Yeah, I seen him at the Wilder fight too.
Where you at? Where you located, Blue Blood?
I'm in New York.
Yeah, me too. What part?
I'm in Long Island now.
Is that where you're from?
Nah, I'm from Harlem.
I'm from Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that man. I was telling him that Wilder punch. It didn't even look hard. That shows you how hard he hits. It just crumbled that dude.
Facts.
And then I was shocked. I don't know about you, but when Caleb landed that left hook, I was shocked. My mouth dropped. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, when Caleb dropped Anthony Durrell, I was
Oof.
like, what the?
Oh
I
my
ain't see
God.
that. That's the shocker of the
Hey,
year.
Wasn't it?
Oh,
it
that's the
was.
shock of the year.
He has like half
That
a
was tough.
knockout. That's it.
All right, man. He got like what? 9 knockouts or something like that?
Something like that.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
really
that
low.
coming.
Yeah, I ain't see that coming.
I mean,
Me and my
they do say it's the shots that I know from experience. The shots that you don't see are the ones that get you, and that's what happened.
It's
Marco,
the
let
one
me
that
tell
hurt
you
you.
what's so
Yeah.
funny. When I was, and for some reason I was getting ready to go with Darrell, and I looked at Caleb, and I looked at Darrell, and at the last moment when they were facing off, I said, "Nah, I'm going with Plant. There's something about him. I'm going with him."
Yeah,
And I'm not.
I thought Caleb Plant was definitely. I definitely thought Caleb Plant was gonna win, but I ain't see it like that.
Yeah, I didn't see the knockout.
I was
And the
hoping
Yeah,
way
he
he
would
nah.
knocked
lose.
him out, that was the
So
thing.
what do you guys think
Yeah,
what do you think of his grave digging thing that he's doing while we don't even know if Darrell's okay yet?
yeah. I look at it both ways because it's emotional in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And they was talking so much shit going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
You know,
That's
like
the
for us,
thing.
like for us, we ain't fighting. You know what I'm saying? We watching it, so we calm, cool, and collective. So even though we get excited, we like, and it could be this way. But it's like a street fight. You know what I'm saying? You knock somebody out, they can hit their head on the curb, and if y'all got a rivalry, you may not pay attention at the moment. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You be in the moment, you like, you know what I'm saying? But then
yeah,
when everything's settled in, then you like, damn, hope dude all
yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying?
I was telling people like, I used to fight, and when I was 28 or 29 or however old Caleb is, and somebody was talking all that shit towards me, maybe I would have done the same thing at that age.
Right,
Maybe.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's the part
Like
though,
they
is
was
the
going,
shit talking.
hard too. Like they was like
Yeah,
it
a
was,
lot of disrespect and stuff was
yeah,
said.
yeah. It was a lot
I
of
get it.
emotion, and on top of it, with all the emotions, you factor in Caleb did something that wasn't expected. I don't even know if he expected to knock him out like that.
Nah, no way.
You know what I'm saying?
He looked more shocked than I did.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Real.
you factor in all the stuff that they been going back and forth with. On top of that,
What
you know what I'm saying? That's
what
like,
what you think of Frank Sanchez? I'd never seen him fight before.
yeah, I like Frank Sanchez, man. He not the most exciting fighter. He a hardcore boxing fan fighter.
Because he has some power.
Yeah,
Those shots in person were had some fire on him.
he definitely got thumped. But the thing about him is that he, it's technicality, it's technical first. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going balls to the walls. And for a heavyweight to do that, you know what I'm saying? People expect heavyweights to let him fly. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
This thing,
That
right? The Wilder fight didn't even go 2 minutes, right? Right. It
right.
didn't even go 2 minutes. But remember,
Right.
people was booing already.
They were booing that one.
Yeah, people was booing Wilder.
I didn't. I don't remember that, but I barely sat there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
was situated.
As soon as it
yeah,
started,
yeah.
because he started moving, he was boxing, he was moving around, and the people was like, boo. I'm like, damn, the fight didn't even start yet.
That's really hard to knock somebody out like that when you're not sitting down on the punch, getting no leverage. Crazy.
No leverage.
Right.
But Blue, you know what's so crazy? Them same people were booing as soon as he knocked dude out. Then they want to act like they was with him.
Yeah, they went
That was a
crazy,
great
right?
job.
They
Like y'all
went
corny.
crazy.
Yeah, man. So now we were talking before about what's next for Spence, and Plead here thinks she's sure of it, right? She thinks that Boots is gonna fight Spence.
I think Boots is up next.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna
Why?
fight Stanionis. I think you're gonna fight Stanionis.
I
That's
think
that the
because
meme.
Boots said he has a big announcement. So
Is that
I highly doubt that.
Mean Machine is Stanionis, right?
No, Stanionis is uh um Man is Stanionis. Me Machine is Igis Kavalauskas.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
hope it's not. I hope it is Boots because that just makes the better choice out of Keith, Stanionis, or Boots.
I was
Give
telling
it to
Well,
Boots.
man,
the thing is, Stanionis has got Stanionis is the mandatory.
I thought Boots was. Boots was Spence mandatory.
They both are, but Stanionis was first. Remember, Stanionis had to uh, uh he took step aside money so Errol could fight Ugas. Remember, Stanionis was supposed to fight Ugas.
oh,
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
He,
know that. I didn't know
I
that
didn't know
either.
that either. I just know
I
that
was
Spence was his
I was telling them
mandatory.
before that I think Spence should stay the fuck away from Boots. That is everything to lose, nothing to gain, really. My opinion.
Yeah. Boots is a monster, man.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whew, that kid, and he's not gonna stay at 47 too much longer. That kid's like 6 feet. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's definitely he's not much bigger than Earl, but he's visibly bigger than Earl. But he's so much younger. Like
10 years
so,
probably, or maybe.
yeah, because Earl is 32 and he's 25. He just turned 25.
Yeah, he's a
Damn.
monster. Yeah.
So,
What
so
were you
what
gonna
could be
say?
the big I'm
He-
just thinking. So what could be his big announcement? I hope it's not Keith, because I don't know. I don't want to see Boots versus Keith in there.
And
Maybe not.
anything for Boots is big.
Mm. What do we know
Well,
about this
not
guy?
really, because if he don't get a what y'all call a name, elite fighter or whatever, he fights another nobody, as y'all say, then it'd be like, who is that and who did he fight? It'd be, I'm tired of hearing
Well,
that argument.
well, you know what? People gonna say that if he fight Keith Thurman, they're gonna be like the only people they're
He's
gonna give him
washed
credit
up.
for. Only people they give him credit for is Earl and Bud
What,
because of the ceiling is so high.
what do we know about this dude that Bud's fighting? I never heard of him.
David Avenesia.
Yeah,
Yeah, he a good fighter.
he is.
He ain't, yeah, he a good fighter. He ain't a world beater, but to stay busy and stay active,
Huh.
Yeah, take the fight.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was. I was surprised. I might be naive, but I was surprised that they didn't make this fight. I thought they were gonna fight each other like next.
yeah, that's what we thought. You know what I
Well,
mean? But
according
then
to Bud, Spence is nowhere to be found to get the deal done. So I don't know how people are saying Bud's ducking when he said he'd agreed to all the terms and BS that they was throwing his way, but they
so
couldn't
yeah,
get.
that's what people were saying. So people like, oh, Blue, you knew this all along. This was happening. I ain't know nothing, man. It was brought to me and my partners in the twilight hour. You know what I'm saying? In the
Yeah,
twilight hour, and hence the reason why everything is not announced because it was brought to us in the twilight hour,
right,
and we still got to put stuff together.
right.
Well,
So
Blue,
if we
you
knew,
can't please everybody, man.
yeah.
Uh,
If we knew this all along, it's a risk losing money right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we knew all along that this was the case, you know what I'm saying? Then why wouldn't we put ourselves in to benefit to the max? That don't make sense. We wouldn't put ourselves in a position to lose. We up against the clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And giving Bo guaranteed money. Pardon me. Hey.
Good
That's
dogs.
So
I
that's
yeah,
love
what if
them
I
dogs.
was Bud, I would have signed the contract too. You give me guaranteed what? Dotted line, Bud dragging his ass. I'm going to this. And like he said, after he fights the bull, he said he still wants Spence.
right. And
So
the
it's
thing is,
giving Spence enough time to get his shit ironed out and make this shit happen after this fight. If it don't happen after this fight,
I just
then
want
what
Some
can you say?
to fight.
why not?
yeah. And so what people don't understand is that uh, um uh, Terrence is under the belief they ain't fighting in 2023. He's like, yo, I ain't fight since November 2021. Who
Mm-hmm.
could put a deal together? He don't got a promoter. He don't got a manager. He don't got nothing. He gave us an opportunity at the twilight hour. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
And for us to try to make a splash and make some noise in the sport of boxing, why will we turn it down and tell people, yeah, we got to turn down Terrence Crawford, man, because you should be fighting Spence. That don't make business sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely not. And definitely
Yeah,
not what he's signing for.
that's like the four of us having a promotional company. We trying to make noise. He comes to us in the twilight hour. Hey, you guys can make this fight. That fight ain't happening. Could we get it done? And then we like, nah, man. The fans want to see you fight Errol. That don't even sound right.
Yeah.
We trying to make a statement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would we turn? Again, like I tell people, people don't. Common sense is not so common these days. But
Right.
if we knew this all along that he was going to fight David Avenesian, for one, all you got to do is look. David Avenesian still had a fight,
Mm.
which means we had to pay that out. And then people say, well, why didn't you fight Boots? Because Boots is with Showtime. And if we are unproven, so if we invite Showtime, Showtime is going to be in the driver's seat. Then we'll just be a name on the banner. They'll be the mother network, and it'll look like they put on this fight, not us.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, see,
They're going to want to be in control.
that's the thing, the
Then you
business side, man. That
right,
thing is
and then
different.
you look at this, right? We inquired. People ask us, "Why you inquire about Virgil Ortiz?" We looked at Virgil Ortiz. Is not doable. They don't want to do it, or they want to be in control.
Right.
How does that help us prove ourselves? It don't.
Right.
That's like the four of us again. The four of us trying to make a name for ourselves, and then we go to Showtime, and they say, "Okay, yeah, we'll put it on, but we're gonna be in control." How does that benefit us?
Yeah. Exactly.
All we are is a sponsor. We're just a name on the banner that nobody gonna pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For instance,
yeah.
when you right, for instance, when you look at the PBC, how often do you look at PBC and notice TGB promotions? Because they are the promoter. PBC is not a promoter; they're an advisory group,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So TGB is the promotion company for PBC. But who talks about TGB? Nobody.
Right.
When you think of the fighters over there, the first thing you say is PBC. You don't see Tom Brown, but they are the one. They are the promoters over there.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Man, it's reminding me a lot of Pacquiao Mayweather, like back in whatever '05 or whenever they should have fought.
Oh
Right.
yeah, then fought years later.
They fought
Sheesh. I
years
hope that's
later.
not the situation between Bud and
No,
Spence
no.
though,
It's,
because
it's,
that's
it's so
crazy.
so. Here's the thing that people don't understand. You know what I mean? Is that Terrence Crawford gave us the opportunity. He don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we had to show him proof of funds. You know what I mean? That because of course he don't trust it. He don't know. He's going to be leery.
Mm-hmm.
But we show him proof of funds. Hey, listen, we're gonna wire you a certain amount of money soon. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
And he's like, we focus on Errol Spence. Cool. And no, we in order for us to be in it, to win it, we got to be in it. We got to pitch offers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We pitch offers to many fighters.
Mm.
Some take it, some don't. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so He comes back to us. Errol Spence fight not going to happen this year. I need to stay active. Y'all think y'all could give me a fight? Let's see in a short period of time. Then people say, why not fight Keith Thurman? Well, Keith Thurman wants $10 million. We're not even sure we can recoup the $10 million we giving Terrence. Now we're going to put out 20?
Right.
How does that make sense? Right? Okay, so that takes Keith Thurman. And then on top of it, now we have to do, so you think that they're going to do business with Terrence for Keith Thurman, then not do business but not do business for Errol Spence. It's just simple mathematics. Only idiots will say stuff like, oh, that's not real, that's not cap, because nobody have a business sense. That's why they don't respect the fans. That's why they put on fights, any fights that they want to put on.
Yeah.
Because fans say anything, right?
True.
Oh man, that ain't, man, he could afford. You don't know what you do. How is he gonna fight who?
Yeah.
And then check this out, right? People don't even understand this. We had to look for venues in the twilight hour. Hey man, is there a venue? What's the best possible position to put him in so that we can't fail? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just you know what I learned in this whole situation?
What?
Right? Is that deal? And I'm not even a promoter. Neither is my partners. Right?
They said, why not Boots?
Yeah, because
that's the question.
See,
why not Boots?
Because people ask the same question over and over again and don't use common sense and logic. How many times I'm gonna say, right, that Showtime would be the mother company? Oh. Why would we give up our power? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then we ain't putting on no fight. Boots has a multi-fight deal with Showtime.
Right.
You think Showtime is gonna say, okay, let BLK Prime put on Boots this big fight, Terence Crawford and Boots, and they're gonna be in the passenger seat with an unproven platform?
Absolutely not.
Who's gonna do that? Yeah. That's just common sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just simple common sense, right? Ain't nobody. Showtime is not going to. They invested in Jerron Ennis already. Mm-hmm. You think they're going to let unproven companies such as ourselves come in, put on that first fight ever, and they play the background? That's not realistic.
Right.
It sounds good, right? Man, he could afford Boots. That sounds good. Right. So who's going to do it? No.
So
you see the mindset, the real Rob Chavez, right? He says, let the big networks be until you become something. Who thinks like that? No, I'm a boss. You should have a boss mentality. What do you talk about? We get you go into it and let them be in charge. What are you talking about? So then when do you be in charge?
Yeah.
You'll never be in charge.
Who do you think Spence is going to fight?
Me personally, Stadiums.
Oh, you do? Okay, right.
Yeah, thanks, Stadiums.
Okay, and then do you think that Boots and not Boots?
Who I think Boots? You said who I think Boots gonna fight?
No. Who you think Spence? And then my follow up was, do you think Spence and Crawford will fight next year?
Yeah, for sure.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
so. Again, like people saying, right? You see, it just, you know what? The ultimate thing that annoys me the most is that we can't, it holds back the sport of boxing, the fans, when they don't take out time to think. Only in the sport of boxing, right? You can have fans say the most wildest off the wall things. Not in NFL, not in the NBA. All reality is escaped in the sport of boxing.
Boxing has the biggest amount of criticism, I think, out of any sport.
Yeah, yeah. Because it just like you see the brothers like, oh man, it's just common sense. Terence Crawford wanted to stay active because the fight is not happening. He didn't sign a multi-fight deal with us. This is a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
He's he didn't say, "Oh, I'm fighting," and he's not fighting Errol Spence this year. So what
Nah.
difference do it make if he fight with us or not this year? He ain't fighting Errol Spence this year, with or without us. He ain't fighting Errol Spence.
I'm in
What am I,
agreement.
when you keep saying
Which
us?
that
I'm
was
not.
the
How are you connected to it? I don't really know the background.
BLK Prime is my business partners.
Oh, okay, got you.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
you know, people haven't, just kind of moving on, but like people haven't really been talking about the light heavyweight division. That shit is pretty deep. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard crazy stories about Better BF. Crazy stories, like he's almost superhuman.
Hey, I talked to oh man, what's his name? I can't believe his name escaped me.
Who?
He sparred Better BF, right?
Chad Dawson.
No,
I think Chad. He sparred Better
his
BF.
name start with an L.
Tex Baker.
His name start with an L. Uh, um,
Current
man,
fighter
I can't remember. Yeah, he used to be signed to Mayweather Promotions.
with an L.
Yeah,
Well, I talked to Chad Dawson. He told me some crazy stories about sparring Better BF.
yeah, I was just gonna say this. What's the name? He said, man. I said, man, you should fight. Would you ever fight Better B? He said, hell no.
Yup.
I spot that dude, man. He said, man, Lionel Thompson. There you go, Lionel.
I
Yeah,
Chad Dawson was like, he told me he'd never been in the ring with somebody that strong. And I was like, what do you mean, like punching power? He goes, just everything. Physical
yeah,
strength.
that's what Lionel told me.
Same shit.
That's what Lionel told me. Yeah, Lionel told me the same thing. He said, man, he said, this dude he said, man, the dude is so strong and hit so hard. He's like, everything he do just drains you.
Mm-hmm. I'm cool with wow, why am I forgetting his name? One of his trainers. Escaping me right now. Scully, John Scully, and John Scully is one of his assistant trainer. And Scully tells me that the shit he sees in sparring, like he sees dudes just quit, afterwards be like, I can't believe how hard he hit. Like this is like TV, almost like fictional stories, but I think they're real.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, when Lionel told me that, we was in Vegas. We was at the MGM, man. He told me that. He was like, man. I was like, yo, he was like, I want to fight. He was going down a list of the fighters he wanted to fight.
Uh
Right.
huh.
Then he got to, and I was like, man, what about Arthur Better Beef? He was like, man, because I knew he sparred him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you fight Arthur Better Beef, man? He's like, hell no. He's like, man, I don't even want to spar that dude no more.
Oh wow.
And that's
I said, really?
there's a lot of good matchups. Him and Bivol, right?
Yeah, I want to see that.
I think Benavidez is going to be light heavyweight very soon because that big motherfucker can't keep making that
Yeah,
weight.
he's big, man.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? Who else is that? With the other guy. Oh, he's 68 though, isn't he? The Cuban dude. What was his name?
Oh, Darrell? Morel?
Yes, him.
Yeah,
He'll,
yeah.
Oh yeah, David.
he'll probably go up to 75.
hmm Man, I want to see him and Bivol fight so bad. But if I'm interested to see how Zorro looks against him though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
because if Zorro beats Bivol, he's big as hell, man.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's taller than Bivol, I think, in the press conference.
Yeah, he like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, he's big. He's real.
And he just a big dude overall.
Mm-hmm. When are they fighting?
They fight November something.
Mm. Are you gonna be at
Southside.
the Lomachenko fight?
Next Saturday, yeah.
You are. I thought about it, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I used to get so annoyed at Lomachenko when he was 7 fights in and they were putting him at pound for pound number 1. It drove me crazy. Crazy.
What'd you say? Say it again.
I said that when Lomachenko came out and he was like 7-1 or whatever, and they were putting him number 1 pound for pound. I was like, how can you possibly, like, you have to earn, your resume has to be stacked a little bit to be in the
Right,
talks for pound. That's like
right.
disrespecting Canelo, all these other guys.
Man, he get He gets so many passes. It's amazing, man.
And why? Just because
Yeah,
the amateur record was crazy?
yeah. Now you saw. I was arguing with Paulie Malignaggi about this for the last couple of days, man.
What'd Paulie say?
He said that he told Devin that he said, "You gonna duck Lomachenko? This is the white boy that's gonna beat you." That's what
Wow.
Paulie said.
I mean, look, Lomachenko can fight his ass off, right?
For sure.
But
For
you
sure.
have to have a resume. You have to show, you know what I mean? You have to show it. And he showed a little bit, but he didn't show, like, he's already at this legendary status. I remember Max Kellerman, man, loved that dude. Loved him. Couldn't stop talking about him.
Yeah. I mean, he is amazing, man. He's an amazing fighter.
He can fight. He can
It's
fight.
it's just like you said though, right? You know, it's just his resume is not deep. So this and another thing Paulie said that because I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? He was like, because he's like, you know, he and I don't have no problem with him picking Lomachenko to beat Dev. It's not like Lomachenko is nobody's bum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's definitely gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Dude is nice. So you picking him to beat Dev, I don't have a problem. It's why you picking him to beat him. You know what I mean?
Why?
And then he says, because Devin ain't never been in no 50-50 fights. I said, what 50-50 fights Lomachenko been in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of the Teofimo Lopez fight and the Gary Russell fight in the second fight of his career.
Right. Right.
Everybody else, he was favored, highly favored. I ain't, and then with none of those fights. Actually, I ain't picked none of them but Gary, and that's because we ain't know nothing about him. He only had one fight outside his amateur background before he fought. No, he had two fights, right? He was 1-1 when he fought Gary.
Yeah. He fought for a title his second fight, right?
But his first fight, don't forget, was a title eliminator.
Wow.
His first fight as a professional. That's how he even fought Salido.
And what is the background of this? Is the fact that he had such a deep amateur career? Is that why he got this?
Yeah, I think he lost. He like Carissa Shields. Like I think they lost like one fight in the amateurs.
But Clarissa didn't have 400 amateur fights, right?
No, she didn't. But she's like 200 and something and one. She lost one fight to Savannah Marshall.
And I don't think she lost.
She lost one fight in her in her career overall.
I don't think she lost that fight.
That's
either.
crazy.
I don't think she lost that fight either.
Nah.
So since then, she really never even lost a fight in her entire career.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
That's
understanding.
crazy.
They had to take.
What's that?
I said they had to take it from her. She really won that fight, so they had to do that. That's it's crazy.
It looked like she.
If you look at the points, right? If you look at the points, right? They wasn't even counting the body shots she was landing.
Yeah.
At all.
She was impressive though, Marshall. Even though she lost, like the movement, you know, and the power and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Savannah Marshall's a good fighter.
Yeah, she could fight.
Absolutely.
She herky jerky. She's long.
Yep.
She definitely got power.
Yeah.
But I knew Carissa was going to beat her because people was talking about her power, and I'm like, man, are y'all looking at her resume? She got 10 knockouts in 12 fights, but did you look at her resume? Four straight fights combined, right? So I did the homework on it.
Yeah.
She did from her fifth fight to her 10th fight, right? They had a combined record of 24, 92, and 7.
Ugh.
24 wins, 92 losses, and 7 draws.
Wow.
Two of the fighters she fought, one had a record of 3 wins and 55 losses. How the hell are you even seeing a fight?
Yeah, you getting licensed, yeah.
Yeah, how you sanction that?
Ooh. Okay, so they were building her up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
But what happened was two or three of the people Carissa fought, she had knocked out. So that's where the build up came from.
right.
Aside from her beating her in the amateurs, the only person to ever beat her.
It was a good fight though. They were going at it.
Man, it lived up to the billing.
It did. That was a really good
That
fight.
whole card, even Alicia and Michaela Mine.
Yeah.
It lived up to it.
Baumgartner, she could fight.
Right.
Baumgartner could fight. Yeah. I mean, I'd never seen Baumgartner fight before, but she definitely has some skill.
Alicia got
Yeah.
skills, man. I watched
Yeah.
her fight a couple of times. Even the fight that she lost, I thought she won.
Right. I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
yeah, shit. I don't know. I'm and we got the heavyweight division now is very interesting. I don't know. I think Wilder buries all those guys. I think he's just too good for any of the other guys, personally. But
Me too.
Mm.
Yeah, me too.
right, but it'll be great to like. I think him and Ruiz will be very exciting. They're gonna bomb it out.
I think he wins all those fights, but the best part about it is they all gonna be action packed.
Yep. Anthony Joshua.
Joshua, yeah, because I could see Joshua buzzing him.
What about Usyk though? Like, do we think that Usyk could beat these other guys?
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man, Usyk is so tricky for me because when he fought Chisora, I'm like, man, he can't compete with none of these dudes after watching that fight.
Yeah.
And then he beat Joshua convincingly. I thought it was competitive, but he definitely won the fight.
He beat
But
them
then you look at the rematch, like Joshua hurt him like 3-4 times.
in the body.
Yeah, to the body.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do coming from 6'6", and Joshua's not the most fluid, quick athlete.
No, but the size, you know what I mean? Like, it's a
Right.
big size difference.
Right.
Usyk, I didn't realize this, but, they both have the same trainer, Lomachenko's pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did that, the angles, and, like, I don't know if you know who Orlando Gonzalez was or is, but it reminds me a lot of Orlando. The angles it's so special, the angles they get throwing punches, both of them. And
He's a southpaw specialist, man.
Usyk is so smart. So, like, I still think Wilder, like, I think he could probably manage to stay away from Wilder most of the fight, but he's going to get caught. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to get hit at least once, and Wilder's in that different level where it just takes that one shot with him.
Yeah, I think D gets him out of there 5th round because he fades, and I think in the beginning the movement in the southpaw stance, and when it seems like when D is in there with skill guy, he takes his time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And Usyk won't get the respect from Wilder because he won't have that power. You know what I mean?
He don't got the power. Yeah,
Right.
that's the seed. Like Ortiz had power, so Wilder had to, and he was technically, so he had to be more careful. But Usyk, the thing I see Deontay in the beginning of the fight is just that herky jerky moving all over the place. It's like a gnat. You know what I'm saying, for a heavyweight. It's like this dude ain't staying still.
What do you guys think of this Joe Joyce guy? I'm not really into it.
Man, I think Joe Joyce could be. I think that could, if he fight Deontay, I think that would be a brutal knockout, man. He just gets hit. He gets hit too. Like, people are making, like, can his chin hold up the? I don't want to see if this dude chin can hold up the Wilder's power. Like, that's not. No, bro. Wilder might send that dude into the next realm.
Yeah, and he's so slow. Like, so.
That's what I'm saying. So D is so fast and so explosive, and this dude is so predictable and so slow.
So slow. I was like, what? I never heard of him.
Hey, man, D coming straight down the middle, man. Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
That'd be another Dominic Brazil knockout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't like that fight, man.
Nah.
He just don't seem like he could, for whatever reason in my mind, I'm like, he don't feel like he could defend himself to me against Deontay.
No, he's like very robotic, very very sluggish.
I don't know how that dude be winning, man. I'm looking at the fights and I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on?
That punch he hit Parker with was like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought it was in slow motion when I saw the clip.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
It looks so slow, like, bro, what?
But hey, big dude. What is he?
He's 6'6".
Oh, I thought he was bigger.
No, he's like 6'6". So he's like the same size as Joshua.
Look, you would have thought somebody threw a kitchen sink at him the way he fell. I was like, bro, that punch was so slow.
Yeah, Yeah, he
He
just
Bro,
collapsed.
he threw that shit from across the street, and it was just like, bro, come on now. Like, that shit was crazy. And he doing all this. Come on, man. This shit.
He said he threw shit from across the street.
He threw that shit from across the street.
Yeah,
I
that
literally
shit.
watched him throw that shit from
Bro, it
across the
looked like you
street.
could have ducked. It looked like you could duck that punch 4 times before he would get to you.
yeah.
My son could have done that.
And
Yeah,
Parker's a relatively good athlete. I was surprised.
and it's crazy because he did the same thing to DeBose. Like
Yeah.
the same thing with Daniel DeBose.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. Like bro, when he hit DeBose and he busted his eye, I'm like, damn, how did he even hit him? Like, bro, you didn't see that?
Yep. I mean, we'll see. I guess that he's. Have you seen the Russian dude fight? Aslanabek, I think his last name is.
Yeah,
What do you think of him?
yeah. And he had trouble, right? Like a fight ago.
Surprising.
Yeah. I thought he was getting ready to lose. I thought he lost.
You thought he lost that fight?
Yeah.
I think he won, but I think he didn't look good because he was another guy. He was like 17-0 all knockouts or 18-0.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Yeah, that was a very good fight too, man.
Yeah.
That was an entertaining fight right there.
Yeah, I was looking forward to, and that kind of, I stepped back a little, but before that, I thought he might be a force in the division, but not.
Yeah, no, he showed stamina issues. Maybe he overlooked the dude. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but because there's like, who else is really in the heavyweight division besides
Right.
the 4 guys?
Right.
But but if you think about it, before now, when was the last time we had 4 really talented heavyweights at the same time?
Man.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you're right. It was the Lennox Lewis era?
Yup, Lennox, Vander, Tyson, and I don't even know who the 4th
Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe.
That was a mean era.
Golota could fight his ass off. He just was.
Yeah, Golota could fight.
He just had some issues.
And you know what's so crazy? People forget that Vitaly was fighting at that time too.
Oh right, and
Yeah, he was.
You know, it just was he was the WBO champion, but remember, it wasn't recognized as a major belt. It was like the IBF champion.
Yeah.
I mean, the IBO.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't right. That took a while. I remember Prince Nassim was one of the first guys to bring a little bit of like credence to the WBO.
Mm-hmm.
I was at that. I was at the Kevin Kelly Prince Nassim fight at the Garden. I was at that live. That was the energy. I tell people of all the fights I've ever been to, the energy of that fight was the most amazing, the dopest energy I've ever felt in a boxing match.
Yeah, I remember that fight. I remember watching that.
It was
On TV. On TV, it looked intense.
People don't realize half of the audience at the Garden were Brits who flew out. So, they kept knocking each other down. So every time one would drop, half the stadium would stand up, the other half would sit down. And then vice versa. It was like up, down, up, down.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was nuts. I used to train a little bit with Kevin Kelly. He's a good dude. He talks a lot, but
I love Kevin Kelly. He do real estate in Vegas now.
yeah, him and who's that? The guy I've interviewed them. The guy he's a partner he does a podcast with. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, he does do a podcast now, right?
He does it with this. God, I forget this guy's name. It's too bad I talked to him. I forget his name, but yeah, he's in Vegas doing real estate. That's right. Yep. He was a great fighter.
Yeah, I went into H Money. What's going on, King? I got timeshare there. You know what I mean? I got a condo there.
Okay.
Right. And then I went into the office, and I'm looking. I'm like, damn, that look like Kevin Kelly, man. But he was, you know what I'm saying? He had a suit and everything. So I'm like, nah, I ain't really paying him no attention. But I'm like, nah, that dude look like Kevin Kelly. Then once I realized, I'm like, damn, that is Kevin Kelly. I'm like, oh shit.
That's do you remember Sean O'Grady from Tuesday Night Fight?
Yeah.
I talked to him. He does the same thing. He does real estate now.
Oh really?
Yep. And where he's
I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah. I interviewed him. We interviewed him like a year and a half ago. He's in his hometown. Where is he from? Oklahoma? Something in the south. I forget.
Yeah. We need that Tuesday night fight. I swear, man, I used to miss that, man.
Tuesday night fights, whoever did the matchups, the matchmaker was a genius, because those fights, there wasn't a lot of big names. It was a lot of up and comers, but the fights were just so entertaining and so well matched.
Yeah, man, and there's no reason for us not to have Tuesday and Friday night fights.
But we
Facts.
don't. And people don't realize back then, before the internet, like that's you would bond over Tuesday night fights. If you're a boxing fan,
Right.
all you could talk about, there was nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
Tuesday and Friday, man. I look forward to Friday night fight. Remember Friday night fights? The NBA games be on, then it go off and boxing come on.
Yep.
Oh man, I used to get so pissed, Blue, because even though I'll be watching the Lakers play, I'll be rushing for the damn game to end. I'll be like, man, come on now. I'm ready for my boxing.
The boxing.
I remember when Tyson fought Douglas, it was the dunk contest was on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going back and forth.
Yeah, you know how crazy this is? How many people realize this? You know that Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearn's first fight was on Wednesday?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
That first fight was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, the first fight.
What's the logic behind that?
I have no clue, man. But the fight was on a Wednesday.
Because they've been doing Sundays recently, right? I think they did a couple.
Yeah, they tried to, but you can't compete with the NFL. That works in the summertime.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, somebody said they remember that, so they remember that fight being on a Wednesday. Shit, I just wouldn't have been going into work that day.
I remember September 16th, 1981, Wednesday.
Oh, you remember the date and everything, huh?
Yeah,
that's
Wednesday.
Easy.
Shit, that was 81.
September 16th. In 1981, yeah, Wednesday.
I wasn't born.
You weren't born?
No.
And she's a baby.
You wasn't born, dude? You wasn't born?
No,
all right.
I'm 85.
You're born 85? Okay. Yeah. I'm 76.
Oh, you two. All right, you 2 years after me. Please, that's cool.
First fight I ever watched that got me into boxing. When my father was watching it. It was Jerry Coetzee versus Michael Dokes. And,
wow.
And it was heavyweight championship. Dokes was champion, and Coetzee scored the upset and beat him. And yeah, it was crazy. That was a crazy fight.
You know how crazy this is. Look at this, right? Y'all remember Howard Davis?
No.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Who's that?
Oh, it was a boxer.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Howard Davis Jr., man. He was a gold medalist. You know, he won a gold medal in '76, world champion. When I was a kid, I lived with him and didn't even know when I moved out here. Didn't even realize who he was.
Oh, really?
Me and my mom lived with him and his family.
Oh, shit. Well, what weight did he fight at?
That's cool.
Oh, welterweight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember him. He had a heavy bag in the backyard. I used to go back there and sit there and watch him. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever fight before, Blue?
No, I chose football.
You played football?
Yeah.
At what kind of level? Like high school? What?
I got up to college.
That's good though.
What's that?
I wish, man. I tried out for the Dragons a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you remember the arena team, the Dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried out for them.
They say football is even more brain trauma than boxing.
Tell you, man.
I would agree.
It's a
before
car
they changed
crash.
the rules.
It's facts. It's a car crash. You know, every play. Yeah, man.
Back then, anyway, not now.
But Blue, how did it get to a point where you started talking about boxing and coming with your channel? I mean, how did that come about?
Man, because like we were just saying with Tuesday night fights and Friday night fights, you know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't realize how much I missed it because I was so indulged in football. You know what I mean? So it almost felt like a hobby, you know. But then as time went on, because that my roots with it, you know. My grandmother, my mother's mother knew Muhammad Ali. She knew
Oh, cool.
Malcolm X. You know what I mean? She graduated from UCLA and NYU. So this is my mother's mother. You know
Wow,
what I mean? She knew Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I mean?
that's cool.
Uh, so uh, um, I didn't realize how embedded it was into me. My mother had friends that's, I don't say because then people put two and two and things together, but my mother ain't a fan of boxing at all.
Mm.
But she knows trainers. She's friends with trainers, and she'll say to me every now and then, "Hey, you going to this fight? Like, how you know about that fight?" Because she just know people and she knows a fight, and then she like, "Oh, let me check," And she's a church going person, so she's always, "I know you're traveling. Let me pray for you. I know you're traveling." But so as time went on, I'm like, man, I love boxing. You know what I mean? Like, I love to talk about it. I love to go in the barbershop and debate. You know what I mean? I used to go in my local barbershop. We had a game system set up with fight night on it. I ain't even need no haircut, man. I'm in the barbershop. We playing fight night for money. You know what I mean? I'm in the barbershop from the afternoon to night. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So then I'm like, man, damn, I love arguing with people about it. So I'm like, man, let me get in. You know what I'm saying? Let me cover it. Why not? You know what I mean? I love it. I'm watching it anyway.
Right.
I used to throw massive, massive Floyd Mayweather fight parties, man. I'm talking people would show up at my house. I didn't even know who these motherfuckers was. I kid you not, man. I swear to God. Hey, man, one day, dudes came, and so my wife's like, hey, man, you know those dudes in the back? So I'm like, nah, it was so many people here, though.
Uh-huh.
So I go in the back. I'm looking, I'm like, damn, but people bring people and all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey man, who y'all here with? They got plates of food and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They stand in my backyard. I'm like, man, who you here with? Like, oh, I could tell from their response. I said, man, go ahead, then take the food, man. Go ahead, man.
That's funny.
They literally stand in my backyard and they was talking to each other, chilling, music playing. I thought they was with somebody, man. They ain't no not near person, man. Like what, bro?
Yeah.
Bro.
Fun.
That's crazy.
But things like that, man. Man, when the fights was over at my house, man, I wake up, man. I used to. We bought air mattresses.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? People sleeping on the couch. People sleeping on air mattresses. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And so, it got to the point where people would be like, hey man, what time, what time we got to be there? The fight announced. They automatically knew they'd come to my house. You know what I mean?
This was just Mayweather fights or different ones too?
No, just boxing overall.
Okay.
But, the main one, the ones that they just get enormous because, you know what I mean? Everybody knows about him.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everybody,
Yeah.
even if you ain't know nothing about boxing, you knew he was fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
And now, man, I don't know what's going to be the next mega fight we got coming.
I think Crawford Spence next year. It's gonna be huge. I think. I think. I think that. I truly believe that Wilder and Joshua's gonna fight, man, and that shit's gonna be huge, man.
That's going to be big.
That makes more sense for a while. The next move.
That's gonna be huge.
You think Fury and Usyk are going to fight?
Yeah, for sure.
Me too. I don't think Usyk could beat Fury.
I don't think so. He's just too big, man.
But yeah, way too. And but he also has you're right, way too big.
He herky jerky, man. He know how to use his size. That's the thing.
Yes.
He know how to use his size. He's not just big, like Fundara is big and don't use his size.
No, he doesn't.
Fury used every bit of his size, boy. He gonna lay on you some more. You think you going on a date dealing with that dude?
Yep.
I don't think that Tank and Ryan fight's gonna happen.
I was just
Yeah,
about to ask that.
I think it is.
You think? I
January
don't think
7th.
so.
What do you
I think it's gonna be
had you seen it?
January 7th.
What do you think? Do you think Tank or Ryan?
I got Tank.
I got Tank.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we haven't seen Ryan, but like, now, next time you see Ryan fight or watch a tape of his, there's something I noticed, which is very strange. He doesn't know how to throw a right hand and get leverage behind it. It's really weird. His left hook
No,
bomb,
he got to throw it in the combination.
but when he throws it, he throws it. Watch it. Tell me if you agree.
Yeah.
I know
Chop it.
Coach
It
look
chops
good
it
without
up.
the eyebrow.
He doesn't twist it or over it. It's weird. And he's a
Right, because he never throws it single. You ever watch Ryan? He throws his right hand. It's always in a combination.
right. And
And you ever watch him hit?
even
You
the
watch
one,
him hit the heavy bag. He do the same thing.
yeah, he chops it, and it's a
He chops
1-2.
it. Yeah,
Yep. It's strange.
yeah. But his left hook to the body, sheesh.
His left hook in general is no joke.
Yeah,
But
sheesh.
Tank, both his hands are, and he has way more experience. Tank, he's smaller, but I don't think that really matters.
And I think
Yeah.
that he is he's underrated. Tank is. I don't think people. I think everybody gets so enamored with his power.
Mm-hmm.
They focus on that and not pay attention that he can make adjustments. He could box.
Yeah, what he did
Yeah.
to Rolly was strategic.
Mm-hmm.
He caught him coming.
Yeah.
Rolly, as much people talk shit about him, Rolly is a threat in terms of power and speed.
Mm-hmm.
He could punch. He's very awkward, and but that from being in there, sometimes the awkward guys are the ones who can hit you because you're not expecting the punches to come from the angle they come from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like Madonna was very awkward.
And Maidana would throw weird shots up and over the top and down. It was very strange how he got those angles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the punch Triple G be knocking people out with too.
Yeah, they're like on top of the head, like up here.
On top of the head, yeah.
Yeah, Triple G. I mean,
And-
he has that weird European like left. It's weird how he throws.
Yeah, and I think because you taught not to do it,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that you don't defend it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. But
I
I
got
think
kicked off.
he's too good and too experienced and too much of a killer for
Posted clickbait, some of
I
y'all,
think
some of
the
y'all,
fight
some of
too.
y'all be tripping, man. I hate to say it, man, but
Levin against Shakur fight. That would be one
Yeah,
to look forward to.
people. Hey, you think about this, right? He
Huh?
said person clickbait in line, right? Bro,
Huh?
but ask him one thing I lied about. The one clickbait. You can't tell me. And why you watching? If
yeah,
somebody lied, I'm not watching them. That don't even make sense.
I
You can't make it up.
didn't even see.
hey,
But
see,
yeah. So that division,
that's right.
like 30, 35, and 40. There's so many good fights to be made. So many,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they
Yeah.
all kind of fall within the same. They could all fight each other, close enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And who's the best out of all of them? Probably Tank, right?
I think
That's
that's
debatable.
You think they?
So they say Shakur or
Sure.
Tank. I say Tank, but they say Shakur.
yeah. You can't go wrong.
You can't. I mean, even Loma. You can't.
You could throw Loman because he could very easily come out on top.
Yep. Lopez.
The only thing with him is that he's just 34, just older.
He is older. And then talk about mileage. That's a lot of miles on him.
Yeah,
Like
and he started late too.
he did start late, Loma.
As a professional, he didn't turn professional. He was 26.
Right. But when did he start amateur? Was he like a kid?
Yeah, he was a kid. Yeah,
Because you see it in his eyes. I hate to say it, but like already you kind of see a little bit like in his eyes and his face. He's starting like
mm-hmm.
cumulative
Yes.
punches.
You see the wear and tear.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you do. I mean, have you seen
Yeah,
Cotto recently? It's already starting, man. I feel so bad for him. He's already showing
Yeah.
signs of
Yeah.
boxing,
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
the wear and tear. Yep.
Yeah, his speech is already affected. He has that glazed look in his eyes. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sad. He was such a great fighter, but And it's so weird. Certain fighters go through wars. Like, have you ever seen a fighter who fought in the 40s, 50s? Like, obviously they're dead now, but when you saw them as older men on TV talking, for some reason, most of the older fighters never had any issues. It's
Right.
this generation,
Right.
right? Like
It's like the human body got soft or something, man.
something, or maybe I think personally it's the glove size. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. People think bigger gloves protect you, but it's just simple physics. Like it's more mass coming at your head, so it's going to create more damage. That's because since gloves, the ounces went higher. There's been a way more signs of brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, Jack Johnson, these dudes, they fought 20, 30, 40 rounds and nothing. But now these guys are fighting less, but they're wearing bigger gloves.
And do you think that also too it has to do with just repetition because they fought so much
Which ones?
that in the yesteryear.
Um,
So it's almost like your hands get calluses from fighting from doing something so much that it just gets used to it.
yeah. No, I don't think brain trauma works that way. I think, I get what you're saying, but I think brain trauma works like the more it gets hit, the more likely you are to be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what
But it's so crazy, right? Because you could look at Holyfield been in wars, man.
and he's fine.
Yeah. And he's fine. Even Mike.
Well, Mike's not. Mike got his.
Mike a little throw dog.
Mike's one of those guys that even not taking it.
But you look at the Lennox Lewis fight, the Holyfield fight, the Buster Douglas fight,
Right.
and then later in his career, just get knocked out by people. He took some ass whippings, man.
Right. But what I think, I was telling Clarence this earlier. Sparring is what really
gets you.
Yes, that's what really gets you. And Tyson was one of those dudes that when he sparred, he was almost never getting. He was the one dishing it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's all years of sparring, but it's such a strange thing with the gloves. They used to wear 4-ounce, like back in Jack Johnson's day, or even earlier. It was like 4-ounce gloves. Jack Johnson 6-ounce gloves. Those dudes.
Yeah, they look like mitts you wear for the everyday cold.
Sugar Ray Robinson fought once a week. And spoke clear. I mean, I think he ended up developing something later in life, but it's insane. I heard Jack Johnson talk, who, by the way, sounds like a college professor.
Right. Hey, remember Sugar Ray? Sugar Ray Robinson had bum of the month.
Yes, once a month fighting.
Once a month, he's just fighting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
bum of the month, sure did, man.
It's crazy. I don't know what it is, but
right.
The only thing that's changed was the size of the gloves. It's the only thing, and because everything that's changed, it's less rounds.
Right.
But the size of the gloves is the only thing that changed. And like I know, like from sparring, hundreds of times, when I was competing or whatever, those 18 to 20 ounce sparring gloves, it's like heavy. I'm telling you, I've been hit. I've had pro fights. I've had amateur fights when the gloves are smaller. Those sparring gloves it's like double the fucking size and weight. So it's just, to me, it's like common sense. It's going to do more damage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how many times you think you should spar a week? Because usually everybody do Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Honestly, like, I don't think you need to do more than twice a week if you're at a level that you're at, personally, at this point. If you're just starting, it all depends. But I think no more than twice a week. And I know people might not agree with me with that, but, when you're at a certain level, you don't need more than that. You really don't, I don't think.
Yeah, there's some people I know. I've been in certain places where I've seen guys every day, they just come in and want to spar. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you tripping. You can't come in every day from Monday to Friday, want to whoop ass. As soon as you come in the gym, yo, who want to spar? Like, damn, you ain't stretched. You ain't did nothing. You just want to get in and spar?
Yeah.
That shit just be crazy.
When I was in Kevin Rooney's camp, right? When I turned amateur, I went up to Catskill. I lived in Kevin Rooney's house, and I was part of his stable. They didn't wear headgear. Like they just sparred without headgear.
And they don't wear headgear at Coach Calvin's gym at Upton.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't really do headgear like that.
Kevin was just like,
They be fine.
he said it gives you a false sense of confidence because then you think you can get hit more, and you're not really. What I think they should do is the other way, wear headgear, but I think you should always wear the same size gloves you're going to wear. That's what I think you should do. Then you'll be, because headgear protects you. I don't care what anybody says. It's just it's physics. It's going to absorb some shock. It doesn't do that much, but it does a little bit of the shock, and it stops you from getting cut. But why not wear smaller gloves?
Right.
People think the bigger gloves are protecting you, but if I drop a rock on you that's 20 pounds, it's going to hurt you way more than if I drop a rock on you that's 10 pounds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt it though too. Like, I've actually felt it. Now, I've had this conversation with other fighters and they disagree, but like, I know for myself, I felt it, and it's a huge difference. You know, it feels like you get hit with like something heavy when you have the sparring gloves on. Whereas pro gloves just feel more like a rock. Like, they feel like sharp and snappy.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. It's just amazing, man. You know, it's so sad, like, listening to Riddick Bowe, man. It's terrible, man. And James Toney, man.
If James is my boy, I was like, James is my boy. And James, you know something about James? His memory is on. Like, he remembers everything.
Right.
So it's not affected his memory, just his speech. Where like my podcast partner, Jeremy Williams, his short-term memory's fucked. Like, shot.
Damn.
Yeah, his short-term memory. I mean, he had like 200 amateur fights. No, 300, excuse me. So yeah, it's sad. Riddick Bowe, you could see him get the damage right after the second Golota fight. He was slurring for the first time in the interview.
I didn't pay that no attention, man.
Look it up. Look up how he sounded right before the fight, and look up how he sounds in his interview for Golota 2. And
that was his last fight, right?
No.
That was his last fight. Did he fight after that?
Did he?
He might have had a fight or two. Not too many.
After the second rematch, I don't know if he took. I think he took another one. Then after that, he went off to the what was that? The Army, whatever.
Army. Yeah.
He dipped off after that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, yeah, because when I met with him last year at the Hall of Fame, the Florida Hall of Fame, we sat down and we talked, me, him, and Nate Campbell, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, after that Andrew Golota fight, man, both of those fights just physically and mentally, it messed me up.
Oh, he
was like, after that.
He thinks.
Yeah, he fought 3 times. He fought 3 times after.
He did. He thinks that Golota was on steroids, which I wouldn't argue if you look back. But yeah, he thinks Golota was on steroids.
Well, that was actually the first fight. That was the first professional fight I'd ever been to. Was the Bowe and Andrew Golota won.
Oh, the riot! You were there?
I was,
that was Fan Man. That was the Fan Man fight.
Nah, that's Bowe and Holyfield.
Oh no, you're right.
This was the riot. This was when them low.
Riot at the Garden.
Low blows. The low blows.
Crazy in the audience.
And I had to be. Me and my brother had to be carried out of the garden like some little puppies because it just got nasty in there.
Who carried you out? Like cops?
It was my father. He had took us to the fight. He had to carry us out because it seemed like from the time the guys got in the ring, it seemed like everybody in the crowd was just in the mood to fight. So chairs is being thrown, and it was just a lot going on. So we were young at the time. I was 13, and I think my brother was about 9. So we couldn't be around all that. So we had to get out of there.
Oh yeah, I was like 20. I didn't go to that fight. But those guys were wiling out. I mean, it just spilled. Like, energy's contagious. You know what I mean? And that just everyone fought that.
You know what's so crazy? I had the audacity because I thought that's how fights supposed to go, even when it happens in the crowd. I was so hyped. So when I found out that they were fighting again in Atlantic City, I went to my father. I said, "Can we go see them fight again?" He said, "You must be out your goddamn mind. You didn't see what happened the first time?"
Yeah, Golota beat Bowe even worse that second fight. What's up, GT?
Yeah, Bowe said he could have won. He said he just couldn't stop with the low blows. He said he could have beat me fair and square. He just couldn't stop with the low blows.
I think fight, Golota looked like he was getting frustrated because he couldn't knock Bowe out, and Bowe was kind of coming back, and I think he just won. Because, don't forget, Golota has done that before. He's bit somebody, and he's also quit, just straight up quit fights. He had some mental problems.
Which is crazy because just off of style and athletic ability, you would think that Riddick Bowe would dominate Golota.
You would, but Golota was similar size, had great speed, had great power. Golota was realize this. I'm actually doing a little video on that fight, but Golota was a bronze medalist in the same Olympics that Bowe got silver and Lennox Lewis got gold. So Golota,
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was and I think it was heavyweight. I'm pretty sure he was a heavyweight gold medal. He could have been, maybe heavy, maybe not super, maybe heavy, because he looked a lot thinner. But yeah, he won a bronze medal in the '88 Olympics. So he had pedigree.
Yeah.
But the low blow but another thing too, if you look at the first Bowe fight, Bowe's trunks were way above his belt line, way above his belly button. Like some of those were
he had the George Foreman specials on, boy.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, what he told me too, he was just like, man, I'm not gonna lie. He said I was expecting just to go in there, and get Andrew out of there. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't treat this fight like it was a real fight. I was expecting to go in there, he was like I had plans by the 4th or 5th round to get him out of there. And he was like, when that guy hit me the first time, he was like, what the fuck just happened? He was like, yo, I didn't know what happened. So,
like, wow.
Yeah.
Because Bowe record technically to Holyfield, but I think those two. But here's another thing though, getting hit low does add up. So it will drain. So I don't know how much of Bowe getting fucked up was partially the low blows taking a lot out of him.
I mean, just act Zab in that Cotto fight. I was there for that one.
Yeah, Zab
a lot of people said you were making excuses for Zab. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not saying Cotto couldn't beat him, but he took a lot of low blows. And even when I talked to Zab said a lot of those low blows affected me. It affected me.
Yeah, and I mean, Riddick Bowe took almost 25 low blows.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Almost 25. I'm doing a video and I counted them. 25. And a couple I didn't give them because they were very close to the belt line or whatever. But 25 clear ones.
That's not counting the first fight. That's counting both, right?
That's just the first fight.
That's just one fight?
Yes.
Oh, hell.
First fight.
Oh,
because
I see why his people storm the ring now. Oh, hell no.
Yeah. It was and it was weird because he was winning so easily. You're wondering what is he doing, but he had issues, man. He's one of those guys that he bit it. You remember fighter Samson Pa'ua, heavyweight.
Who?
Pa'ua. He was a heavyweight Samoan dude. You remember him?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Anyway, Golota bit him. It's on Tuesday Night Fights. Golota was whooping his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Pa'ua landed a shot on him and hurt him, and Golota grabbed him and bit him, and it worked. Pa'ua jumped up. What the fuck? And then Golota ended up knocking him out.
Yeah,
that's bizarre.
I remember.
Just like what's his face? I did that too.
But 25 low blows is ridiculous, man.
It might have been 21,
Crazy.
but it was over 20 for sure.
Anything over 3 is ridiculous.
He was throwing combos.
Anything over 2, we got a problem.
I mean, he was
throwing combos, body, but
throwing combos. If you remember the second fight, that's what ended it. He threw a 3-punch combo. In the nuts. 3. Boom, boom, boom. Crazy.
Yo. Your Marco is stupid, yo.
It's just so outrageous, bro.
That's what happened. I'm not making it up. But,
bro, that's so outrageous, man.
He was doing combo.
What are you doing? What? I remember in the rematch too, they put a cuff in the heavy bag. and they're like, "Don't hit." I swear to God, they put a cup on the heavy bag for him.
Dude, I know. Dude did that. He put the trunks on there. He said, "This is what me and him is working on. Hey, don't hit here." He went out. All that shit was for nothing. He went out there and did it anyway. He went out there.
Three-pieced him.
You know what Andrew Golota said? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I like low blows.
Yeah, that's so outrageous, man.
Yo,
to pack it in.
That's so outrageous.
It was good talking to you guys.
yo,
Let's do it again.
yeah. So, yo, Blue,
All right,
I
say
love
less,
you, my
brother.
brother. I love you guys. Is my girl
Appreciate
still
it.
down there? Fifth. Salute to you. I gotta
Yeah,
get out of here.
yeah.
All right, peace out.
Blessings there. Blessings there.
It was
You too, man.
nice
Hey,
talking
bless
to you
you.
guys.
I'll check you tomorrow.
Peace.
All right.
Hey guys, please subscribe and smash that like button. And if there's any fighters you want us to interview or anything else, any questions or comments, hit us up. We're here for you.